Start the evening with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome. A few items to mention. If you'd please silence your cell phones. Our meetings are public and recorded. This is a business meeting. We ask everyone to conduct themselves in a professional manner. Our city code allows for public comment up to 3 minutes. And for best sound quality, please lean into the microphones when you speak. And this evening, Alderman Dojon is not with us. So with that, we'll call the meeting to order at 6 p.m.
Okay, Alderperson Schwartzkopf,
Here.
Alderperson Giebert,
Here.
Alderperson Reinecker,
Here.
Alderperson Hannabut,
Here.
Alderperson Demond,
Here.
Alderperson Nevoy,
Here.
Alderperson Dojon is absent, and Alderperson Peel.
Here.
Okay, with that, we'll conduct some business. First item, I'll call for a motion to approve the financial statements.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call voting starts with Schwartzkopf.
Aye. Hey. 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 Hey.
Okay, motion passes. Next up, I'll call for a motion on the estimated and listed bills.
So moved. Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the estimated and listed bills. Any further discussion? Roll call voting that starts with Giebert.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Okay, motion carries. I do not believe there's consideration of any additional bills I'm aware of. Okay, with that, we will shift into correspondence and public and guest comments, which we have Commander Clarence Neal here with the group, and I'm going to give this timer a try this evening. So come on up, Clarence. Please state your name clearly for the record.
Yes, my name is Clarence Neal. I'm the commander of the Redbud Post 662 here in Redbud. Most of y'all have passed the thing out here. Just let you a little history on this. This started over 10 years ago. Virgil Leifer was the commander at that time, and he said he'd like to see a piece of the military equipment here in Redbud. So I started working on it. Finally, by March of 2012, I had everything together. I came here to the city. They approved us to send this in and try to get this piece of equipment. Well, 2 weeks ago, I got an email, says we have a piece for you. So I've been working diligently against for that. We have a chance, not have a chance, really, we have it already, is a M44 self-propelled howitzer. And that's a piece of equipment come into service in 1954, right after the Korean War. And it lasted till about 63 because it was too heavy for the Vietnam War. It get sink. So so essentially they sent them all over the world. They only made 250 of them. And there's 33 somewhere left in this country out of those 250. The rest of them, most of them have all been retired in the different armies and places where they're at, except Turkey. They still have them going. So this piece of equipment has been in the museum in Danville, Virginia. So that's where we need to get it from. So I have kind of a timeline, what I'm trying to do with this piece of equipment to let you all know. So I'm trying to get the pad that needs to be put in for this piece of equipment done around the first part of September. Because they tell me that I should be able to get this piece of equipment in October. And we need at least a good 2 weeks or more for the concrete to cure. And that once it is here in place and everything, then we still need to what they call demilitarize it. We have to weld the barrels, the breeches, any hatches or anything, so no one can get in and get hurt on this piece of equipment. And that. So right now, I'm waiting on the last of the paperwork. They're working on getting it together to send to me. We will have a title for this. They call it a gift title. And that, and also on there, they say we are adopting this piece of equipment. So once it's here, we set it in place, it is here, you may as well say forever. You either take care of it or it rusts away. It's like Freeburg now, their Legion's closing up, VFW already closed up. They have a piece of equipment, they don't know what to do with, they found out they can't move it. You either have to ship it back to the military, or you have to keep it right where it's at. So that's how those things work. So, and so essentially, like I said, October, it should be coming in around there. My goal is to have it in place, ready to go by November 11th, Veterans Day, for the park, for the ceremony that Darnell Bergman puts out there every Veterans Day. And to give you some kind of idea, like they say, nothing's really free. Piece of equipment's not costing anything, but it's going to cost around $15,000 to $17,000. Transportation, which I'm lining up now, is in an running. It's going to be about $8,000. It's going to take about $1,000 to load it, and I figure, well, if it costs that much to load it down there, it'd be about the same here. So, and then put in about another $6,000 for the pad, put it in place, and then another $1,000 put in to demilitarize it. So to let you know up front, we've already received a $5,000 donation from the Al Ron family. We moved on. They sent us a check for $5,000, and we put that one directly straight forward for this equipment. So why I'm here then, and that is to ask the city if they could put the pad in. And that, so, and I know there's a lot going on there, but I think it's a community thing to see if you guys would not help with that. If you put the pad in, it's still in the neighborhood. I still have to raise somewhere between $5,000 and $7,000 more to do this. So I'm kind of looking for a commitment, because it's going to take a little bit to get ready and put in that pad. To get it in the first part of September, we're already in the second week of August. So I would like to have some kind of commitment if we could tonight. I know you have restrictions on how you can do business in that, but I would like to have some type of a commitment from you guys tonight. So do you have any questions that I can answer for you?
Clarence, how big a pad are you gonna require?
What now?
What is the size of the pad that it's
Size
required?
of the pad. It's going to be 24 by 16, about 8 inches of concrete, and 2 layers of rebar. Probably 3/4 would have to go with that. That's why the price is what it is. And that when it comes to the pad. And that, so. It will come in they call it gooseneck lowboy. Hopefully that what we plan on doing, it can happen. We'll pull that right up to the pad. He'll drop the lowboy, and we've been talking to Bob Berkey ready to see if he can't use his big wrecker to attach it onto it and pull it right up onto the pad. And that, but if worst case comes, it's possibly why I got that kind of money in there too, is $2,000 is if we have to rent a crane to pick it up and set it on the pad. Hopefully we should not have to, because they tell me that they normally just push them on that low boy and then pick it up the gooseneck and then head out. The trucker also has to fill out paperwork just like I do, have it all notarized, and that for them, he has to prove he has insurance. He has to give him his route and everything where he's going. And here mainly, I'll have the paperwork for the commitment, the title and everything. I'll probably need the mayor's signature on there too, to that, and get it notarized so that they say that the city and everybody is in on this deal.
Clarence, what is the location that you're planning on placing?
Okay, when I did this thing back and when we went to this council in March, the location is in Rats Park this is the book that I had to make up for it. It will go just east of the memorial that Dornell has in it. Will have to be probably at least so we're gonna be close to 30, 20 to 30 feet off of the highway. I looked at it, it will pretty well put us in line with Dornell. It will stay away from the soccer that the YMCA has, and that it's to where it shouldn't interfere with anything unless you get golfers out there hitting golf balls like I see sometimes. So, and but they can hit around it. They can hit it and it won't hurt them. So.
I mean, I just roughly did some figures. If you're 24 by 16 and you're 10 inches thick, it's gonna take approximately anywhere from around 10 yards of concrete is what it would take. And right now, concrete's gonna run you about $150 a yard. Because you're gonna probably use a 6-bag mix with finish so that you can get a decent finish on the top of it too. You'd have to throw a little bit in there for rebar, but if the city would be willing to take care of the materials, I would provide the labor to set up and pour the pad. Or my company would, put it that way.
And Mayor, I had met with Clarence on this as well, and I know Rodney, what you said, I kind of, when I figured the material wise, trying to figure out what we were talking about on the mat as a 1x1, I figured up it was gonna be about $1,340 in rebar. With a 3/4 inch, that price and by price construction supply, I had around 11.8 yards. But once you take your rebar out, it kind of balances out. So that's kind of what when you look at just the concrete and rebar, just under 3.
That's about where I was at.
Clarence, there's a project worksheet that we've adopted in the city for things such as this. Do you have that available?
One of these,
Yes.
it's filled out.
Okay.
And now the only thing I didn't put on here was a design layout plan.
Okay. I mean, one other option, we do have committee meetings on the 21st. We could gather this information, get some more figures together and consider this on the 21st and even possibly have a special council meeting. So within 2 weeks, I think we could give us some time to review it and act on it at that time. Would that work in your time frame?
2 weeks, I guess I would like it now, but if it has to be 2 weeks, I know you're required by law to do things certain way, because I've been in your seat, matter of fact, for some 12 years, so.
I mean, I think the city's gonna commit to it. It's just officially, we have to go through that process.
I know.
You understand where we're at?
I understand that, and I sure appreciate what Rodney stepped up and said it'd make a big difference there.
I mean, I think everybody here is on board with it. It's just a matter of the due process, as you know,
Yeah,
and which we could have that finalized in 2 weeks.
you did 2 weeks. That gives me some more time, make sure I got everything ready then. And we have talked to Steve a little bit. And he ain't gonna donate everything, but he said he would help.
Right, I'm sure he will.
So if you two want to talk and complete your form and get that turned into us, maybe within the next week or so, we can get it into committee packets. And then
I'll
we'll
get
have
that.
more information that way that we can act at the committees.
I can do that.
I would just say if we're not gonna exceed $3,000, I off the record would commit to it.
Well,
Yeah.
whatever you could do is appreciated. That will
I
save.
mean,
me
we
some
can't
money.
take a vote or anything
Right.
tonight, but unofficially,
I can't see us voting against it.
No,
No.
right?
Well, I've had suggestions of ways to raise money. I thought one of them was pretty cool, was go to the schools and ask each school, the kids in the school, just pennies, nickels, dimes, and quarters, whichever school raises the most money will allow them then to name this piece of equipment. Because like back in the wars, the Memphis Bell, Thor, all these different things, they made their names. It might be good to put something like that on there too, so.
Okay, go ahead with the form. If you want to just drop it by City Hall, once you and Rodney have worked out a few more details, and maybe this also will spur some other donations from the community, and who knows what this may turn into.
Because like I talked to Jeff, I know how much easement the state has and everything. We looked at the city easements for water and sewer and everything that goes through there. We have to stay away from that. We can't put on any of that.
Okay,
All righty. Thank you.
you're welcome.
Thanks, Clarence.
Is there any other further public comments or guest comments? Okay. I just wanted to recognize the two ladies in the back from Monroe Randolph Transit District. Thank you for attending this evening. Okay, next up, we'll shift to the consent agenda. That's items A through P, and I would like to note there is a typo on item J. It should read July 2nd, July 2nd rather than July 7th. So we'll just make that notation on our agendas. So with that, does anyone want any individual line pulled out separately to be voted on separately? Okay, hearing none, I will entertain a motion for the consent agenda.
So move.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second on the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Roll call voting. That starts with Reinecker.
Hey. Hey.
A,
Hey. Hey.
Hey,
Okay, motion carries. That leads us up to reports of standing committees, and we'll start with the finance.
thank you, Madam Mayor. Under Finance Committee, the only note is that we do have CDs that will be coming due in September and October. I will have current rates if we decide to renew them or invest in more money at the committee meetings.
Okay, thank you. Next up, is there anything from personnel?
Nothing, Mayor.
Okay, anything from public health and safety?
nothing. Oops.
Okay. And now anything from public works? Too many
Nothing.
publics. Okay. How about zoning committee? Anything from zoning?
Nothing.
Okay, then that shifts us to cultural, which I see a couple of items.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to accept the request from the Girl Scout Service Unit 57 to use Lincoln Park Pavilion 1, less the fee on August 5th, 5 p.m. On August 5th, and after 2 p.m. on Sunday, August 13th.
Okay, and I think actually that 13th was in our.
Oh, it was.
consent
That's right.
Agenda.
It was.
So do you want to
Yep, I want to amend that.
amend
Not
that?
the,
Okay,
we've already approved that one. So
okay,
just 5 p.m. Saturday, August 5th.
okay, so there's the amended motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay, we have motion and a second on the Girl Scout request. Any further discussion? Roll call voting that starts with Hannabit.
Hey. Hey.
A,
Hey.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
Okay, motion carries. Next.
and I'd also like to make a motion to accept a request from Bright Points Monroe Randolph County Birth to 3 program to use Lincoln Park Pavilion 1, less the fee on August 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
The motion, is there a second?
second,
Okay, motion and a second for the Bright Point request for Lincoln Park. Any further discussion? Roll call voting starts with Demond.
Hey.
A,
Hey,
hey,
Hey. Hey.
Okay, motion carries. Next up, is there anything from executive session minutes review? Okay, then that'll take us to the Planning Commission.
Thank you, Mayor. The only thing I had on there was we had the hearing for Anna Marie Hess for the Planning Committee last month. It passed with unanimously in the Planning Commission. So we have ordinance number 1525 has been written up. Jeff, do you have anything additional to add on that?
This is a relocation of an existing business. It's called Growing Mindfully. It's currently over in Park Plaza.
where are they moving to, John?
Oh, I'm sorry. 232 North Main. It was Richard Bergdorf. Yes, Bergdorf House.
Hearing nothing
She
else.
did say that she was going to maintain this as the outward appearance is still going to be a house. So it can be resold as a house at some point.
Okay,
So I'd like to entertain a motion to pass ordinance number 1525.
Second.
okay, there's a motion and a second for ordinance 1525. Any further discussion? Roll call voting that starts with Nevoy.
A,
Hey.
hey,
hey,
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Okay, motion carries. Anything else from planning? That's it?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, then we will shift to the Economic Development Commission with a couple of items.
Economic Development, our last meeting, the Economic Development Commission, we're looking at a name for the new business park or a new park. And we came up with Red Bud Business Park because we have several items, several businesses out in our existing ones that aren't industrial. So we thought Ribbit Business Park was a more appropriate name. So I'd like to make a motion to approve the name of the new park as Ribbit Business Park.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to name our newest park Redbud Business Park. Any further discussion? Roll call voting that starts with Peel.
A,
Hey,
Hey,
A,
Okay, motion carries. Next.
then the Economic Development Commission let Pamela, Jeff and I decide to come up with street names because we couldn't really reach an agreement on what we wanted to do in the commission. So these are the 4 names that Jeff and I have kind of come up with. The 4th one, Executive Street, may not be necessary if we don't need the cul-de-sac. But right now, these are the 4 that we're recommending. So I'd like to make the motion to accept those 4 names for the industrial park roads. Commerce Way, Enterprise Street, Production Street, and Executive Street. Executive Street's one we may not need.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for street names of Commerce Way, Enterprise Street, Production Street, and Executive Street if needed. Any further discussion? Roll call voting. It starts with Schwarzkopf.
A,
hey,
Hey,
A,
Okay, motion carries.
okay, the other item, and I think we haven't discussed this before or looked at it before, is this letter and form we're talking about sending out to existing businesses that help us keep track of any available buildings or land for economic development in the city of Redbud. So I don't know, do we need a motion to accept this or?
Oh, Rebecca, this is just a letter that we developed.
Yeah,
I don't think
we're
so.
just gonna send it
Just
out.
for
Yeah.
advisory.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Next up is recreational facilities, nothing to report there, but for Parks and Recreation, there is a musket request. So I would entertain a motion for the muskets to use the practice fields August 1st through November 12th. Tuesdays and Thursday nights, 6 to 8 PM, Saturday mornings, 9 to 11. I'll entertain that motion.
second,
I will entertain it
Oh.
first.
I'll make a motion.
Okay. Okay, a
second.
motion and a second for the muskets. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call voting. It starts with Hebert.
Hey,
Hey,
A,
A,
Okay, motion carries. And also at your seats tonight, we were able to get the Parks and Rec Committee meeting minutes. So those are at your table there. Okay, old business, we'll move on to, there isn't any old business. So new business, I would entertain a motion for the appointment of Christy Cooper to the Library Board.
so move.
second,
Okay, we have motion and second for Christy. Any further discussion? Roll call voting that starts with Reiniger.
Hey,
A,
A,
hey,
Okay, motion carries. Next up is a review of the August calendar. Later this week, we have Library Board on Thursday night. Next week on the 15th is Planning Commission, and on the 21st, we're back for committees. Any other additions, changes to the calendar? Okay, hearing none. Are there any other comments for the evening? I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
so move. Second.
Okay, a motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned at 6:00.